Dealing with changes positively instead of negatively. Isn't that often hard to do? Right? The word major life change can scare the bejeebers out of us, and it can make us feel stress, anxiety, fear, even to the point where we're kind of paralyzed and we don't even explore our options when we are going through whatever change it may be. We're just feeling stuck. So if that feels like you and change is difficult for you to deal with, or maybe you want to change but just don't know how to go through that process without that fear and anxiety, stay tuned because this is for you. My name's Erin Cook, and I share the shortcuts to finding freedom and joy again by simplifying and systematizing daily lives and businesses. And today I'm going to share with you the 5 steps to follow when you are going through a major life change, whether it's expected or maybe it's not expected and it's been thrown upon you. But these are my 5 simple steps to follow, so stay tuned. We're going to be talking about change and how to deal with it and even embrace it and enjoy it. Wouldn't that be awesome if you could enjoy change? Do you guys have difficulty dealing with change, whether it's something that you want to do or not? Are you secure where you are, and to step out of that comfort zone kind of makes you crazy? Okay, so let's talk a little bit about my story. So I am a mom of 4, and I have 3 businesses right now, and my husband has a full-time job, so we are very busy. And we have learned through the years how to manage that, but change for everybody in our family is a little bit difficult sometimes. And right now we have just sold our home last week, and we are selling one of our most lucrative businesses, our ice cream stand. So I'm very sad, but at the same time it's an adventure. And here's how we stay sane about it. So I want you to think about this. So I want to let you know about a study that happened which helped open my mind to this embracing change. And it showed me that a lot of it was my mindset. Actually, that's the secret, is your mindset. There was a study done by some doctors. They went in to study a group of patients who had all had the same surgeries. Now, it was a thoracic surgery, so they had been cut open, they were in a lot of pain. So half of the group was administered their morphine after surgery by a doctor. So they knew it was coming. The doctor said, you know, this is going to help relieve some of that pain, and so on and so forth. So they were expecting their pain to diminish. Now the other half, who had the exact same surgery, got the exact same amount of morphine into their IV, but nobody told them it was going in. They didn't see anybody doing it. They didn't know that relief was on its way. So guess what happened? When these people, this group of doctors doing the study, went back in to measure the person's pain after they had given them the morphine, they went in, and the people that knew that the morphine was coming and expected the benefits of the morphine had way less reported pain than the group that didn't even know they were getting the morphine. I'm not trying to say that morphine doesn't work, but our mind is so powerful in the results that we get. It's connected right to our body. And so when I say the word change to you and that stresses you out, you have a physical reaction to that, whether you can control that or not. So your mind is what needs to change. But our mindset is what we have to change if we are going through something that stresses us out, just like a major change in our life. Okay, so one other quick story. Now, I don't know if you're like this person. Went to a conference, and the woman talking said, I need a volunteer, come on up on stage. Didn't say what they were gonna do or anything. So are you the person that would sit in the room and be like, oh, I'm not going up there, I don't know what she's doing, I don't want to fail, I'm scared of what might happen, I'll look like an idiot, whatever. So if you're somebody that sits in the stands, what's going through your mind? You're talking negative to yourself, right? Your mind is forcing your body to do something, and that is to sit back, be nervous, be anxious, and be afraid of whatever change this woman is asking you to do, from getting out of your seat and going up there. Well, when someone finally did go up there, they got $100 and they were told to sit down. So the person that went up there to volunteer, they had a whole different mindset. What do you think they were thinking? They were thinking, ooh, this is exciting. Oh, I get to be on stage. I wonder what's gonna happen. You know, I can't wait to see what she's gonna make me do, right? So let's get to step number 1. If you're expecting change, or you're planning for change, or maybe you have just been thrust into change, maybe you've lost your job, or somebody in your family passes away, here's the first thing you need to do, is you need to realize it's a loss, or that your body is going to treat it as a loss, your brain's gonna treat it as a loss, and that's going to help you grieve. You have to go through that grieving process of whatever it is that you feel like you're losing. Whatever change is happening, go ahead and write down what you have to grieve for, and that's okay. Like with us, we're gonna grieve for our house, for the memories that we have in this house, even though we're taking the memories, but we're losing our dream home by choice, but it's still a loss. So you have to grieve for that loss. Now, the other thing I want you to do, even if you're not going through a change, write down the things that you are so attached to that it would rock your world should one thing change that you were attached to. So think about this. Think about having walls around you and you're leaning up against one. What is that wall right now where if that thing changed in your life, maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's your job, maybe it is some possession that you have that you've worked hard for. If something were to change on that wall, about that wall that's holding you up, that you lean on for strength and motivation, you get out of bed each morning because of this wall. So you're leaning on it and then something happens to that wall and it starts to crumble. What's gonna happen to you if you are leaning on that and you have that attachment? You're gonna crumble too, right? You're gonna feel like your whole world is falling apart. Now, we all have been there. Like, I'm not telling you this because haven't been there, I've been there. But what I learned to do and what the part of this process is when you're writing these things down is you're gonna start to figure out how to stand on your own 2 feet without that wall. You can be next to the wall. And this is the hardest part because I talk about relationships and you have to think everything in this world is temporary. Someday our relationships, they're gonna end in the physical world, right? People are gonna pass away, husbands might leave us, or wives might leave husbands, or children may pass away. We may move, we may lose our job. Everything in this world is temporary. So we need to figure out how to stand and separate ourselves from having the identity that we only exist if this wall or this attachment exists. Okay, so that's what we need to start working on first and foremost. And that's not even if we're going through change, that's just gonna happen anyway. So if you wanna be prepared for change, you have to start figuring out how to identify yourself as you and strong and something that can weather the storm, because you can. Okay, so the second part of this is knowing that you need to stop that negative talk, like change. Like, so we're leaving the dream house that we built and we want to downsize. So we've been looking at rentals. I don't know if you've moved from a dream house to a rental, but it's not fun. And that's the negative talk that we've all been having. So I had to realize, hey, listen, this is gonna be an adventure, right? It's not gonna be a beautiful new home that we're going to be moving into while our other one is being built. It's gonna be an older house and it's gonna have problems and it's not gonna be laid out the way we want it. But the negative talk would be, this is gonna suck. That's what my 10-year-old is saying. This is gonna suck. I try not to use that word, but we assume things that we don't really know are really gonna happen, right? Don't we do that a lot? We do that a lot with everything. So we have to stop the negative talk and the lies that we tell ourselves. Some of the lies could be, we can't function if we don't have our job. We can't pay our bills if we don't have our job. Yeah, you can, because we're getting rid of one of the most lucrative businesses we have, but guess what? We're downsizing to offset that because we need to spend more time with our kids. We need to have that freedom to focus on the things that are more important to us at this time. So there's always a way to figure things out. You just have to sit down and let yourself know that. So you gotta stop the negative talk. So that's number 2, right? So number 3, this is something that people kind of skip over. So take that paper and then think about all the changes you've been through. Maybe you've been through divorce. Maybe you've had a loss in your family. Maybe you've lost your job. You know, I say these over and over again because these are like the big ones that a lot of people experience. Maybe you've already been through something like that and you've lived through that to tell about it, right? You're here listening to this, so obviously you have overcome. That's what we need to focus on too, is the fact that we've been in those places and here's how we got through it. So I want you to take a look at those situations and evaluate them and say, what is it about this situation that got me through and can I use that in the next situation? So really think back, because you are successful and you are going to succeed at getting through whatever life throws your way. Now it's your perspective that's going to either make or break you, make it easy for you or make it harder. So that's number 3, is going through and evaluating what you've already been through and what you can take away from that. Educating yourself. This is step number 4. Educating yourself just simply means finding somebody that's been through whatever change you're going through and then learning how they got through it. Trying techniques that they have used that worked for them. Now, they're not all gonna work for you, but just educating yourself about the situation, your options, what the plan could be, what options you have, you know, what the benefits of this road would be versus this path that you would take, what could possibly go wrong. Exploring all all of that and writing it down makes it so much less scary. It's not scary if you know the worst thing that could happen is you have to move if you lose your job. Yeah, nobody wants to do that, but it's not as scary when you break it down. So once you know what can go wrong and what can go right, you are more empowered. So educating yourself is huge. So that's step number 4. And then step number 5 is kind of goes along with that. Once you've followed people that have been through your situation, asked them questions, read about your situation that you're going to be going through, you become informed, and then you create a plan. Now, this isn't a plan where you say, okay, 10 months, I'm going to be doing this, that, and the other thing. Basically what it is it's your baby steps. So, loss of a child. First thing I need to do is grieve, and it's okay. So guess what I did? I looked up ways to cope through music, like what songs I liked. I played the songs all the time. I knew that I could cry. I knew that I could scream and that would be okay. Like little baby steps, things that you can do. Then I looked up, once I got past that part, how can I help people remember her? How can I talk about her with other people? And then I did that. It's one baby step at a time when you're going through change, just like everything else. Because if you expect that one day you're gonna be, struggling to keep your job or whatever change it is, and then you lose that job and you expect things to be perfect in a week because you're focused on the change, it's just not gonna happen. You need to give it time, and you need to just do baby steps so that you don't feel like you're failing every time you move forward. You may not be at your goal yet of healing or whatever it is that you have to go through, but you're gonna be one step closer. So that's step number 5, is making baby changes and going through your plan and sticking to it, knowing that you're going to succeed. You will succeed. So let's recap really quickly. So step number 1, you're gonna grieve. You're gonna grieve on paper for whatever it is you're losing, that you feel like you're losing when you're going through this change. And you're also gonna go and think about the things that you are so attached to that if that wall fell, you would crumble. And you need to start releasing your hold on that. Because again, we know everything is temporary. So that's step number 1. Step number 2, you need to get rid of that negative talk saying, oh, this is horrible. I can't believe this. Poor me. That's okay to do in your grieving stage, because sometimes it is crappy. Sometimes we lose our jobs. Sometimes we lose a person. It's crappy, but you have to just decide that you're gonna make something good happen. You're gonna be positive about this, and you're going to not let it get you down and not let you crumble along with that wall. Okay, so that's step number 2. Step number 3, reviewing your past. We talked about thinking about things that you have been through, how did you succeed, and what can you do in this situation to succeed as well. Number 4, educate yourself. Find people that have been there, that have gone through it, try different things, take in, all their knowledge. And then step number 5, create a plan and just do baby steps, because you're gonna be successful. I want you to be successful. So that's what we're doing here in our household. I don't know if you've sold a business and a house at the same time and had your kids, upset because this is the house they grew up in and they don't really understand downsizing and purging and becoming a little bit more of a minimalist. Not to the extreme, but it's pretty extreme for us, but that's okay. You're gonna get through it. We're gonna get through it. We know there's a plan. It's difficult at times, but we keep our sanity because we follow these 5 steps. And I know you can too. So it's a choice to either take change as a negative thing and just say, poor me the whole time, or you can turn it into something positive, embrace the experience, grow, learn from it, become stronger, help other people through it. Like if I could tell you the number of people that have lost children after me that I was able to help, it was amazing. But you don't know until you go through that. And you don't know unless you're willing to help other people and share information, which is what I love to do with you guys. So if you liked this video and you're new to our channel, please go ahead and subscribe to us. Don't forget that, because we come out with new content all the time, and I want to help you find your joy and your freedom again. And also go ahead and like this video, give it a thumbs up, or even comment on something you learned today or what change you're going through, and we can all learn from each other that way. It also helps me reach more people, and that's my goal, is to help as many people as I can find their freedom and joy. And if you're interested in finding time to make all these changes in your life, go ahead to Find Your Free Time. That's my free video series PDF worksheet as well, where I teach you how to automatically populate your to-do list and your schedule every single day so that you're not wasting time figuring out what you have to do, when you have to do it, the best times to do it, when are you most productive. I teach you all of that to make the most of your time, and I add at least an hour of free time a day to your schedule. So if you're interested in doing that, I encourage you to go to findyourfreetime.com. I'll post the link here for you, and you can enjoy that free time while you're going through these changes. So go ahead and subscribe to us, and I will see you here again next week. God bless you and take care.